Hello everybody, welcome back to the Crystal Forecast. I don't have the dates for the Crystal Forecast, but it is for the next 7 days. I think it's June 6th to June 13th that this Crystal Forecast is for. I really should have checked the calendar beforehand. So I'm just going to dive right into this week's forecast. So we're going to start with the crystal card, which is Clear Calcite, the Universal Mind. If you guys have ever had the opportunity to work with clear calcite, it is one of the most amazing stones I've worked with. They're all pretty amazing, but I feel like clear calcite is so important for us right now because of the clarity that it allows us to see not only ourselves, but it allows us to see so clearly everything about everything. It's one of those stones that you just kind of sit with and you can hold in your mind what it is that you want to know about and what it is that you want to see clearly, whatever the problem is. And as you hold that stone and just meditate on that, you'll receive the clarity that you need for that situation. And I have to repeat, because they're telling me to repeat this, it will be the information that you need to see the situation clearly. And why they have me repeat that is because you don't always need to know everything about every relationship. You just need to know what it is that you need to know about it. About every relationship, about every experience that you have, there is a lot that is left to mystery, and that is good for us. That is healthy for us. That's part of what makes us want to live, is the surprise, is the mystery, is the not knowing, is the curiosity. And clear calcite helps us to see that and to know that and to learn that, and it also helps us to see what it is that we need to see in order to move forward for the greatest gift and the greatest service of our own gifts and service to humanity, and nothing less than that. And what I see coming up in this next week is I see that a lot of people are going to be receiving more of an understanding of our connections, of how everything flows together, of how many people are experiencing the same thing that they are experiencing and going through the same thing that they are going through, because it's not just one person experiencing something. It's everyone is experiencing something, and everyone who is experiencing something has a frequency resonant match throughout the universe and all over the planet. It has more than one, I can guarantee you, that is feeling the same thing. And the way that we are so globally connected means that we can get tapped into these various people instantly. But people go, oh, well, what about the people who don't have internet? What about the people who don't have access to internet? Everything can be done energetically. That's part of the new world that we're moving into, is that from the heart space, telepathy is possible. From the heart space, all of the clairvoyant abilities, all of the clairaudience, clairvoyancy, all of that is all possible from the heart space, and it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger from within that heart space. So if you're in a point where you are feeling like you are alone and there's nobody else who is feeling like you, all you need to do is step into your heart space and connect in with the other people on the planet who are feeling the same way that you do. And you know that when you are consciously connecting in like that with these people on the planet, feeling the same way that you are feeling, going through the same thing that you are going through at this very moment in time, you can know that your energetic presence will be felt inside their lives. And they will feel for a brief moment, or for however long you stay with them, that they are not alone, and you are not alone. You'll feel like an angelic presence to them, and they will feel like that to you as well. And the more that we practice this, the more connected we will feel. The more we will feel connected to not only nature, but to humanity and to the people that surround us. And that is what part of clear calcite is teaching us, is it's teaching us how to connect in with the oneness, with the mind that connects us all, with the spirit that connects us all, with the field that connects us all. Because I'm an energy worker, that's where it all comes down to. It comes right back into that energetic vortex, that field that surrounds us all, that just needs to be tapped into. The best way to tap into the field, the subconscious, I am losing words, I don't have a word for this, but essentially the best way to tap into they're showing me a visual of the earth, and around the earth there's the atmosphere, but it's not called the atmosphere. I guess it would be called the collective unconscious, but it's a little bit different than that. It's the energy that holds everything and all beings, and everyone is connected to that. It's like the energetic matrix around the earth, and the best way to connect into the energetic matrix, and the best way to learn what it is and to visualize it and to see it and to feel it and to hear it, the best way is to go into a space in nature that's going to be a little bit quiet, and you're just going to, after you've grounded in and after you've centered and you're starting to breathe and you're starting to get into a really nice relaxed spot, you're just going to allow yourself to open up to the energetic matrix that surrounds the planet. And it's going to start right where you are. And so you're going to practice seeing it, and you're going to practice feeling it, and you're going to be practicing hearing it as well. Use all of your senses. Smell it if you can. I don't know what it smells like. That's not a strong sense for me, but I can definitely see the matrix when I choose to. And as you continue to work with it, as you continue to do the meditations, you'll start to see where the energetic matrices are connecting and where they come in alignment and where they're off alignment, and you'll start to be guided on how you can create the matrices in a straight way, how you can repair them, essentially, is what is happening. Anyways, that is a meditation for certain light workers to be trying, and it is a really important work to be doing. If you feel called to do it, then we recommend that you do it. If you don't feel called or resonate with it, then don't do it, and that's okay. There is no wrong. There just is, are you resonating with this or are you not resonating? That's all it comes down to. There is nothing else. And clear calcite is done speaking at this moment, so we'll go into the other gemstone. Let's try this again. So this next week is going to be really important because it's the number 4 that keeps coming up. 4 is the number of solidarity. The medicine wheel has the 4 directions, which is really important for us. 4 is a pillar. It's 4 pillars. It creates the square, one of the most stable things in nature, really. And then we also get that this week is a really important sacred week, a week of kind of like a ceremony. There's going to be a lot of energies that are ending inside of our lives. So we'll feel a lot of endings that are creating new beginnings. And so some people will feel the new beginnings more than they feel the endings, but they both coincide with each other. I'm also aware that this week, I believe, is a new moon. So it is a very good time to be releasing all that is old and allowing in with the new. And you'll find that the more that you work with the crystals and the more that you work with nature, they just kind of combine together so that everything just flows in with the natural flow of life. And that is where we're supposed to be. Our bodies harmonize to nature. When they harmonize to nature, they harmonize to the seasons, they actually have the temperature that gets harmonized to match the seasons when we're eating what the foods are, because the foods actually direct our body as to what is going on in the natural cycle of things. That's why it's really important to eat seasonally, because if we're eating an apple that is harvested in fall, but we're eating that apple in spring, the body starts to think that because we have fed it an apple, it is now fall. So therefore, it must create extra heat in order to keep us warm, because we are in a colder season than we actually are. And oftentimes this is really, really subtle, and oftentimes it doesn't really have a lot of effects, but it is something to pay attention to. And that is why we have winter foods and we have summer foods. That's why in the summer months it's really good to have a raw food kind of diet, because the way that food affects us is going to be really noticeable over these coming weeks. It's like, my guides are telling me it's like with every crystal forecast it comes a little bit of a lesson as to what's going on in our lives, and the lessons unfold, and they always unfold, but each week there seems to be a better timing for each lesson to come and unfold inside the lives of the population. And there's like a series that is happening. There's a series of lessons that are happening on mass consciousness level that always happen. They happen repeatedly over and over and over again, but it's only the people who are resonant with it at the time, at the moment, that will get with it, because it's all of us being on the same wavelength. That's what creates this vibrational field that I can read, that the crystals can read, that we can tap into, that creates us in sync And the more of us that are in sync, the more power we have to change the current system that we're in. And that's what these are about. That's what all the forecasts are about, astrologically, crystal, whatever. If you follow somebody who's astrologically in charge of creating a forecast for the coming week, what happens is that everybody who reads that forecast becomes aware of those energies, and then they start to naturally sync up. And the more they sync up to the energies that are being talked about, the more everybody kind of comes into this wave. And that's why we have so many people right now that are on the edges of consciousness, that are pushing the edges of consciousness, because that wave of people is getting larger and stronger, and there's more of them coming together. And the crystal kingdom and the mineral kingdom is really, really, really happy to hear that. And so they want you to keep that in mind. And it relates back to the calcite, where the calcite is talking about oneness, universal oneness, coming in together, coming into the mind, coming into that space of connection with everybody through the various activities that you choose to do. And it's like, they want me to give one more example of when you're on a team and you're playing on a team sport where everybody gets into this state on a team where you don't even have to talk anymore. You just know what the other people are doing, because everybody knows what their positions are, everybody knows how the game works, everybody knows how all the rules are, and so they move into this state where they work as one organism instead of 6 separate organisms. And humanity is going into a transitionary state where instead of working as an individual, we work together. We just do it naturally. That's who we are. That's what humans do. Humans are organic, and we have to work organically within the systems that are created. But we're finding that the system that we've created no longer works, and so we're finding that we need to discover what are these universal laws, and how can we live inside the universal laws and come together and work as one organism within the universal laws, and step outside or beside the system that we're currently in that is no longer sustaining us, no longer fulfilling us. That is what we're in process of doing right now. And there is nothing else. So thank you for watching. Have a good week.